My prediction changed during the making of this video. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jesse and I'm the founder and grandmaster of MMA, Mexican martial arts. I upload new videos every Wednesday. Please don't forget to click that like button if you enjoy them. This video was sponsored by the official wallet of the Mexican martial arts, the Ridge wallet. More on that later. There are two main things that people are focusing on when it comes to their pick for this fight. They're either picking Jake Paul because they've seen footage such as this, or they're picking Ben Askren because they hate Jake Paul. Both of these reasons are really stupid. There are many things to consider leading up to this fight. Let me break it down for you.
We talking about practice.
When I look at footage like this, it reminds me of that one fool from Kung Pao that they train wrong just to be funny.
I must apologize for Wimp Lo. He is an idiot. We have purposely trained him wrong, as a joke.
And then he's winding up his punches like the Undertaker. There's no fighting stance to be found. It's not orthodox. It's not southpaw. It's like a horse stance, but the horse is way too tall or something. His feet are flush and he's leaning his entire upper body forward. It looks like his chin is touching the bag more than his hands. You already know he's on that Robbie Rotten level. R.I.P. And you can't help but notice Jake Paul clearly unfazed by these punches. Perhaps a glimpse of the fight to come. But there's an element that people often overlook in situations like this: self-awareness. If you can't pick up on this, then you're gonna take the bait every time. You have to be able to tell the difference between fools that are naturally annoying and unlikable and fools that are just doing it for the entertainment. I experience this myself all the time. I often have people leave comments on videos like this one saying stuff like, "I didn't even know he was joking till about 5 minutes in," when clearly I was not joking. Does Ben Askren have a good stand-up game? No, but this is obviously trolling. Ben Askren has that self-awareness and he knows when he's on camera and what he's putting out there for you to see. And he's not just on camera, he's the director.
Good. Awesome. All right.
I know what you're thinking. What about that fight with Damian Maia? That looked pretty bad. I'm telling you, Ben Askren is a genius. The ultimate troll. He's on that Sacha Baron Cohen level before Borat Part 2. He's been playing that long game so that he could get that Jake Paul money. I'm not saying that he threw the fight, but he has been hustling us. Uncle Phil style. R.I.P. Here's where it gets tricky. Hustling doesn't mean that you have to come back and win. It just means that you get paid.
They offered me a bunch of money and I'm excited to do it.
I don't have any hands.
Everyone's so focused on Ben Askren's lack of hands.
What about the gif of him like shadow boxing? What about that? I mean, that has to concern you, right? Yeah. Come on. That's impressive, no?
Nah, bro, like...
For the sake of content, let's forget that I just debunked this.
All right.
Ben Askren doesn't need hands to defeat Jake Paul. All he has to do is not get hit, which is exactly what he did his entire career. To be fair, I don't really think that we should count the UFC as part of his career. Ben Askren in the UFC is like Joe Rogan on Spotify. The glory days have come and gone, you know? And Ben Askren wasn't just avoiding punches. He was avoiding elbows, kicks, knees. Remember, the UFC doesn't count. All he has to do with Jake Paul is not get socked in the head. And Askren has moves for that. He's just gonna be taking the back all night long. Line out Richie style. R.I.P. He's not dead. He could also tie him up early and try to get him tired. I've been seeing a bunch of footage of Jake Paul laying out his training partners, but no one's clinching him up. They're not preparing him correctly. Remember how much Conor McGregor was tying up Floyd Mayweather? Ben Askren is a two-time NAACP state champion wrestler. He's gonna tie that fool up like a pair of shoes. Askren doesn't need to knock out Jake Paul. He just needs to use that dad strength for 8 rounds and show him a little tough love with that squeeze. Home court advantage is a thing for a reason. I don't really think it's a big deal, but people let it get to them and then it becomes a big deal. To me, Home court advantage is like MMA mat, or washing your hands after you go number one, or ring rust. It's stuff that people believe in without any real science to back it up. But all that really matters is the mental effect that it has on the people involved. And I know that we're talking about boxing here, and that Ben Askren is not a boxer.
Have you ever done an amateur fight, a smoke, any kind of boxing match before?
No, I've not.
But he is the real fighter. So this is the first time that Jake Paul is gonna face someone of that caliber. Ben Askren has been fighting on pay-per-views, main cards, title fights, Olympic stages. Jake Paul has been in a couple of freak shows up to this point. I'm surprised he hasn't fought Bob Sapp yet. So Ben Askren has the whole MMA community behind him, cheering him on in hopes that they'll stop seeing Jake Paul in their feeds, like this video, for example. Of course, there are a few who would like to root for Askren, but simply believe that Jake has the attributes to put him away. This hurt Ben Askren's feelings a little bit.
DC said I'm gonna lose. Can you believe this guy? I thought he was a friend. DC, I can't believe you.
But then DC was like, hey fool, facts don't care about your feelings.
Tell him he's dead to me.
Okay, fair enough.
The mess up thing is that up to this point, Ben Askren has never had the support of the MMA community. People clown on that fool more than CM Punk. And now all of a sudden, they want him to swoop in and save the day. That's gacho, Nacho.
Listen, I don't like them that much. They don't like me. It's fine. I'm great.
The purse doesn't make any sense. And neither does the traditional wallet. I speak the truth and nothing but the truth to you about the fight world. And I do the same thing when it comes to your wallet. Mira, this traditional wallet is like the bare knuckle FC of wallets. It's like that illegal stream that ends up getting you a virus. And it seems like a good idea until Dana shuts you down. And there's an appropriate metaphor for that somewhere. If you're ready to level up and quit stashing receipts and coupons like your grandma, then you need to get on that Ridge wallet. Neta, I didn't use a wallet for like 12 years because I got tired of sitting on leather. And then I got one of these for my front pocket. And I always forget it's even there. And now the only time I sit on leather is on the weekends. It's a minimalist RFID blocking wallet. It holds up to 12 cards and your cash. It has over 30,000 5-star reviews from people that are much happier than you right now. Just go to ridge.com/Voto and put in the promo code VOTO for 10% off.
I am completely indifferent.
This is where things took a turn. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Ronda Rousey, the Incredible Hulk. We've already seen the seemingly invincible fall, literally. It may seem like a sure thing to most people that the world champion, Olympian, professional athlete would easily defeat the YouTuber. However, no one is invincible. But that's not even the biggest problem. We already know that Ben Askren is not invincible, but he is indifferent.
I am completely indifferent.
Ben Askren has already made it clear that he no longer has the aspirations of a winning fighter.
I have no intention of ever training to be a world champion in mixed martial arts. I will never be a full-time fighter again.
He's just looking for that payday.
How much are you making for this?
A lot of money.
You're happy with it?
I'm very happy, yeah.
More than UFC?
More than I've ever been paid for a single fight, yeah.
Wow.
We've all had jobs that we didn't care about and we just needed a paycheck. I'm guilty of that myself. But it's a little different when someone's trying to knock you out. He's grossly misunderestimating Jake Paul.
The guy's not really a boxer or a fighter at all. He's a YouTube star.
His logic is that it's not like he's fighting Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. Hey, fool, nobody that you fought is like Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. That doesn't mean that you could just look past this fight. He's already planning his next matchups. You can't be talking all those papas when you're still recovering from hip surgery. And you can't just run away when things get tricky either. The sport has ropes. Ben Askren has the MMA community depending on him. And he needs to take this seriously.
No, I don't know if I like the MMA community.
We've seen it time and time again. Hungry people beating legends. And Jake Paul is hungry. People keep asking the question, how can someone with seemingly no talent become so successful? Ask Chael Sonnen. But I could tell you the real answer. Hunger. You combine that hunger With natural athleticism, you better start checking the warranty on that head. Jake is putting people down. He's not preparing himself for a stick and move kind of fight. Ben Askren's smartest move will be to tie him up as often as possible. But you already know that the ref is gonna have to be separating them. But you also know that Jake is gonna be boxing dirty in that clinch.
He will be getting hit from every single angle.
I have a feeling that this fight is gonna have a lot of similarities to Mayweather versus Ortiz. And it's even more dangerous for Askren because his chin sticks so far out of his guard. He can't simply rely on his stamina and assume that he's gonna wear Jake down. Jake Paul has been on that wrestling conditioning since childhood.
I was a Division I Ohio State wrestler, had over 200 wrestling matches.
Both of these fools are conditioned, but Jake is hungry. Are we gonna respect the work or not? Jake Paul might talk papas to sell fights, but he respects Ben Askren.
Ben Askren was really the only one who was serious about it and that wanted to make it happen and was ready to go. So kudos to him.
He respects that he took the fight, and he respects his legacy.
He has less losses than McGregor.
Well, he's found a way to balance it perfectly. Sometimes a fighter has no respect for their opponent, and so they underestimate them. Other times they have so much respect that they don't know how to handle it, and they don't fight at their highest level. Jake Paul respects Ben Askren, but he also believes in his own attributes enough to declare victory.
I'm too sharp right now.
But remember, he's a YouTuber, so he can't fight, right? That's how it works. So then I guess Wonder Boy can't fight either, or Masvidal, or Max Holiday, or Nogano, or Ben Askren. I think you get the idea. So it looks like fighters could become YouTubers, but YouTubers can become fighters. Mira, I've turned a blind eye to double standards over the years. But this is where I draw the line. The hate that I'm seeing from the MMA community toward Jake Paul almost makes me want to root for him. Look what you're making me do. It's hypocritical. It's ill-informed. And your favorite fighter's probably even worse. My official statement is that I am not rooting for Jake Paul. But I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna come out swinging like Will Smith's lady. And Ben Askren's only hope is to hold on for as long as the ref allows. But it doesn't really matter to him anyway, as long as he gets to hold on to that money.
I'm being compensated well.
And I don't blame him. He's earned it. I would love to see Ben Askren win, but I have to pick Jake.
Let's go, bro.
What's your pick? Jake Paul or stubbornness? Let me know down below. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late.